Welcome to our homestead kitchen. Coach Green here with Healthy Homestead Living, and today we are going to make healing tonic, also sometimes called fire cider. I am almost out of mine, and so we definitely need to make some. I use this a lot, and so we're going to make some today. The reason that we need to have this on hand is I love using it with my broth as the vinegar substitute. When you're adding vinegar to your broth, this has a few other ingredients that are going to give a little more kick and a little more nutrients. The other thing is the healing tonic is called that because it can and has many benefits of helping with healing. It is made with some incredible antioxidant rich ingredients like onions and garlic and peppers, along with ginger and horseradish. So it gives all of those great nutrient qualities along with the vinegar. So let's jump right in on making some fire cider. The proportions on your ingredients will depend on your recipe. The old manuscripts will say equal parts of all ingredients. When I make mine, will tend to go equal parts of onions, peppers, and garlic, and then depending on what I have available from the garden on horseradish and ginger, I'll add those as well. They tend to be a little spicier and a little stronger on the flavor, so that's why I also don't want to have quite as much of the ginger and horseradish so we don't overpower on the flavor. So you can go with equal portions of onion, pepper, and garlic. Now the type of pepper that you decide to use is going to be any kind of spicy pepper. Jalapeno pepper is my personal favorite, but depending on what you have in your garden or that you have handy, any spicy pepper will work. Habanero or anything like that. We're going to put these in the jar and then add our vinegar. I usually start with the ginger because it is going to tend to want to float to the top, and we want to weight it down with the other ingredients. Depending on what kind of peppers you're using, you may want to wear gloves for this if your peppers are super spicy. When I chopped up these jalapeno peppers, because I want this to be a fairly strong and spicy tonic, I left the seeds in it. Your canning funnel makes it much easier to get the ingredients into the jar. In this case, I'm using a half-gallon mason jar. Depending on how much you're making, any vessel will work that you can close really good with a plastic lid. We don't want to use a metal lid, however, because we are adding vinegar, and vinegar will react with metals. Now I do have on hand some of these super spicy arbol chilies, and they're dehydrated, so I'm going to add those in there as well for some extra heat, which makes it super yummy. Now the last step is simply to pour in our apple cider vinegar. It's best if you can use vinegar that has the mother in it, because we want to have a little extra culture in our fire tonic. If you don't have access to the vinegar with the mother, you can just use regular apple cider vinegar as well. We want to take our apple cider vinegar pretty close to the top, leaving about an inch of headspace. Then we take our plastic lid and we close it up nice and tight. This is now ready to set aside in your pantry or a quiet place at room temperature, and we want to leave it sit for about 4 weeks. The old manuscripts will say on healing tonic or fire cider that you want to let it go from new moon to new moon. So if you're going to make it the old way, you'll make this actually on a new moon and then harvest it on the next new moon. When we're ready, 4 weeks later, this will be a nice deep color, and the flavors of all of the spicy stuff we put in there are going to be nice and joined together in the vinegar. So we strain that off and we put it into our bottle, and then it's ready to enjoy.